Did you know that the US spent $17 billion on a project that was never even used? When the US is starting to lose its dominance and monopoly in world decisions, China is spending billions en route to becoming an absolute superpower. It is finally revealed China's secret $44 billion project and other plans can make them seriously powerful. Watch this video till the end to know more. With no time wasted, let's get into the video. China has several massive infrastructure projects, including undersea railroad tunnels and river water diversion schemes. Beijing has always relied on infrastructure spending to support the economy, but detractors warn that credit-driven investment may result in unmanageable debt. To stabilize its economy, China relies more on state-led investment, hoping that massive infrastructure projects will boost local commerce and provide jobs. China's finance ministry said in late December that it had provided local governments an early allocation of 1.46 trillion yuan or $229 billion in quotas for 2022 special purpose bonds to encourage investment and assist the economy. Beijing's 2021-25 growth plan also includes 102 mega projects, some of which will be front-loaded. However, some questions are raised about infrastructure expenditure, arguing that credit-driven investment may cause the country to accumulate unmanageable amounts of local debt. So we will look closer into the Sichuan-Tibet Railway in today's video. A high-elevation railroad between Chengdu, the city of Sichuan, and Lhasa, the capital of the Tibet Autonomous Region, is now being built. The project's construction got underway at the end of 2020 and is anticipated to be finished by 2026. With a budgeted investment of 319.8 billion yuan or $50.6 billion. It's known variously as the Sichuan-Tibet Railway, Sichuan-Xizang Railway, or Chuanzang Railway. The 1,629 kilometers long railway will reduce the time required to travel from Chengdu to Lhasa from 48 to 13 hours. On December 28, 2018, the Chengdu-Ya'an segment became the first to operate. On June 25, 2021, the Ningqi-Lhasa leg became the second to start operating. In 2030, the last Ya'an-Ningqi section is anticipated to be finished. It is the first higher-speed train on the plateau and the first electrified railroad in the Tibet Autonomous Region. On this line, China Railway CR200J Fuxing series trains are operated by China High-Speed Railway Service. Analyzing its construction, the Sichuan-Tibet Railway is reportedly very challenging to build. According to Chinese media, a 3,000-meter elevation difference exists along the railroad, while the destination is situated on the Tibetan Plateau, 3,000 meters above sea level. The starting location in the Sichuan Basin is barely 300 meters above sea level. Over 3,000 meters is the altitude at which 90% of the line is located. Only the Ningqi stretch must cross the Yarlung-Tsangpo River 16 times, necessitating the building of 121 bridges and 47 tunnels. The Milin Tunnel, which is 10 kilometers long, is one of the trickiest sections. Due to its location on the Tibetan Plateau, Milin Tunnel is 1,200 meters below the surface beneath a mountain range and averages 3,100 meters in elevation. A 1,011 kilometers long Ya'an-Ningqi leg will contain 72 tunnels, totaling 851 kilometers. Several tunnels will be longer than 30 kilometers, with the Hegong Tunnel being the largest at 42.5 kilometers. A high-temperature crust is present where the railway line is tunneled. Even if it's a highly controversial project, it can do great amounts to change the travel. Let's have a closer look at the segments of this architectural masterpiece. Chengdu-Ya'an segment. The 140-kilometer-long Chengdu to Ya'an segment has a design speed of 200 kilometers per hour. On December 28, 2018, this part was officially launched. Ya'an-Ningqi segment. With a design speed of 120 to 200 kilometers per hour, the Ya'an to Ningqi leg is 1,011 kilometers long. It's the most challenging section of the railway to build since it passes through a seismically active area with challenging terrain and delicate ecology. Construction on this stretch began on November 8, 2020 and is anticipated to last until 2030. Ningqi-Lhasa segment. Construction on the Ningqi to Lhasa segment is now complete and operations have started. The segment's design speed is 160 kilometers per hour, 435.48 kilometers long. The Ningqi stretch has 121 bridges, 121 bridges longer than 525 meters, and 47 tunnels. On December 19, 2014, construction got underway. In December 2020, track laying was finished. On June 25, 2021, the section was launched. The stretch started running on June 25, 2021, with the first train departing Lhasa for Ningqi at 10:30 a.m. Compared to using the roads, the railway cuts the trip time from Shannon to Ningqi from 6 hours to more than 2 hours, and from Lhasa to Ningqi from 5 hours to 3.5 hours. It can transport 10 million tons of freight a year and carry passengers. All these segments might have appeared to be a little confusing, but on brushing up things, along with making travel easier for the Chinese, also has a lot of strategic implications. The China Railway CR200J train sets are used for 160 km/h services. The railroad will use the bimode CR200J plateau version, explicitly created for plateau operations. There are now 31 sets of trains with a 12-car arrangement. For the benefit of travelers experiencing altitude sickness, devices for diffusion and distributed oxygen are built. Between Lhasa and eastern China, the railway will significantly reduce travel time. To get there by train before the Sichuan-Tibet line, one must pass through Golmud and Lanzhou. The railway poses a significant engineering challenge and aims to connect China's interior and coast with nearby communities. The railway is anticipated to have a significant positive influence on tourism in western China. By aiding China's armed troops along the line of actual control and in opposition to Arunachal Pradesh, analysts in India fear that the railway will impact the ongoing Sino-Indian border dispute. Digging deeper into this, Chinese military soldiers are building infrastructure along the international boundary in Arunachal Pradesh. China has previously constructed infrastructure close to Arunachal Pradesh. According to satellite photographs from November, China has built at least 60 buildings in Arunachal Pradesh. Another set of satellite photographs from January revealed that China had built a new village with 101 dwellings, some 4.5 kilometers within Indian territory in Arunachal Pradesh. It has also held several drills along the border during the past year. This is not the sole infrastructural project that China has planned. Several other projects are coming along too. Let's have a brief look at a few of them. Taiwan Strait Tunnel Project. The tunnel was designed as a section of the Beijing-Taipei Expressway, which once finished would link Taiwan to the mainland. It was subsequently incorporated into China's growth plan for railroads. Several scholarly talks and feasibility studies, including one conducted by the government-owned China Railway Engineering Corporation, have been conducted on the proposal, which entails a 126 kilometers undersea tunnel. Since tensions across the Taiwan Strait have increased over the past 2 years, it is largely believed to be a part of Beijing's program for unification. China is not just creating an architecturally spectacular paradise. These can also prove to be major strategies that uplift the nation's total security. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to our channel never to miss similar updates. See you soon in another video. Goodbye until then.